This game changed me, in the smallest but most enlightening way. Hotline Miami is one of those special games that can appeal to nearly anyone. It's so simple, yet there's one aspect to it that's so important. It's hard? Well, it all comes down to how you fare with gaming. I would never say I'm a god at video games at all. However, I have played my fair share of Hotline Miami, so I would like to talk about it today. I'm not going to go over all the fine details and the nuances of gameplay, that's not what I do on this channel. In addition, I'm only going to be covering the first game and what it entails, and I'll be ignoring the second game for now, and maybe I'll save it for a future video. However, I'll go over the part of Hotline Miami that truly stands out to me, the essence of what truly makes Hotline Miami truly special. Hotline Miami is a game that truly represents a couple key points of the socio-political zeitgeist of the 80s. This technicolor neon nightmare that's supposed to be Miami, Florida is of course abstract in nature. Loud, blaring music to calm ambiance paints this world as something that is nearly a backdrop for the action story. The Ronald Reagan era of the United States is often depicted as being a cocaine-filled nightmare of aggressive consumerism. The story of Hotline Miami takes part in 1989 in a consuming-based society for which these standards are continued into the 90s in real life. Hotline Miami depicts this in a stoic and cynical way. After slaughtering a bunch of Russian gangsters, Jacket, our titular protagonist, enjoys a movie, pizza, a drink after every mission. Jacket's journey into just doing what he's told and slaughtering a bunch of Russians is a not so clever but humorous depiction of how Americans at the time were depicted as, ideologically at least. The choice of the main big bads being Russian is not lost on me, or really any person playing the game. Russians at the time were always seen as a natural enemy to the typical red-blooded American. The fall of the Soviet Union happening only a couple years after the event of this game, and the criminality of Russian mafia groups and Russian oligarchs is important to this game's aura overall. In a lot of media at the time, Red Dawn, Rocky IV, Invasion USA, to name a few, it shows the stereotypical villains as Russian. I think that's why the criminals that die in the game are only seen as an interesting set-aside rather than anything that's actually worried about or discussed further in game. I know in the second game they heavily delve into the more political side of things regarding this. However, I think that Hotline Miami's disregard for a more concrete story creates an interesting aspect of the game. Hotline Miami is blunt, it's loud, it's violent for the sake of being violent, and it's simple in a lot of ways. Anti-communist, anti-Russian, patriotic devotion, blind consumerism. All these things are a core part of this game's identity. Even though Biker's story, his journey and what it entails, the ending is simply that all the events that happened was just because it happened. Jacket's countless massacres and Biker's mission to find out the truth, all for naught. It's told that the player was told to do these things because that's what they knew. That's what they were given when it came to information. More than anything, Hotline Miami is a biting criticism towards blind allegiance to authority figures. A brutal and colorful hate letter to patriotism and nationalism that was so prevalent in the 80s and now. Hotline Miami is amazingly numbing in the best possible way, just like politics can be whenever you only think in a binary. But that's what it means to be American at times. Single issue, better of two evils. All of these things is what we're told to think. This hasn't changed since the 80s, even with the inclusion of the internet. Access to information is not what changes a culture. What changes America is how we interact with this information. In an age of reading thumbnails first and pretending we know why we say what we say is symptomatic of the memetic approach modern-day America has always had with politics. We can't argue that things are different when we are committing to the same obsessive ignorance that is being criticized in Hotline Miami. This game, as simple as it is important. Aristotle once said, "Humans are political animals." The definition of politics can be defined simply as well. People making choices. However, in a world of thinklaters, the choices we make may only lead us into violent apprehension to any type of progress. Thank you so much for watching this short video. I imagine my thoughts are going to be completely different from many others, so feel free to comment below, call me an idiot. I don't mind. Hell, subscribe while you're at it so we can discuss more in the future. This has been Slug on Slug's 2 Cents. Thanks for watching.